let's practice melding. What I want you to do is get a full 2 decks of cards with 108, including 4 jokers. I want you to deal yourself 13 cards. I want you to practice creating initial melds. Let's start with a 125-point meld requirement. Take 13 cards. The first thing you're going to do, remember, even if this is just practice, is you're going to replace your 3. And now take for your turn. So you have 14 cards. Now I want you to look at your cards. Some people use card holders. I do not. Whatever is easier for you. And start to see if you've got pairs, if you've got wild cards. Do you have a triple? What are the point values? So here I'm starting to see I've got a triple of 4s, I've got a wild card, I've got 2 queens, nothing to make an initial meld. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to discard. It's an empty tray. I'm throwing a 4. And then I just want you to continue to pick and create and discard. Pick, evaluate your hand for an initial meld until you get there. And practice this a few times. An initial meld must have a triple, it must have a pair and up to 2 wilds, and it must meet your meld requirements. That's all it is. After you've laid down your initial meld for practicing, now let's practice subsequent melds. Here we go. These are my cards, and I have a pair and a wild as my initial meld. In order to create a canasta here on this meld line, I have got to add additional 4s before I can add a wild. I must add an additional 3 4s, making that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rule of 5 right here. Now I can add a wild and close the canasta. That's how this works. This is a mixed canasta, so the black 4 goes on top. And let's continue practicing subsequent melds. We had initial melds, which had rules, subsequent melds. It must have a triple to start a new meld. You must add 5 natural cards before you can add a wild. Those are the rules. So here we go. Anything else we got? Yes. We can add a new meld line. Here are the queens. You may add a new meld line for a subsequent meld. And to demonstrate what you cannot do on a subsequent meld, you may not lay down a wild and a pair. Subsequent melds do not allow it. Only initial melds, like this one. Subsequent melds must be clean. And they continue to follow the rule of 5. You may not add a wild card. There are only 3 queens. You must have 2 more queens before you can add a wild. Practice those.